These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics? And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, April 29th, the day of Celtics Heat Game 4. We're going to be talking about that one in this one. Reminder, as always, make sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. And if you're listening on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff, make sure to follow us there and leave us a review. We'd appreciate it very much. Sam, how you doing? How's the weather up there in New England?
It's actually excellent. The weather today is excellent.
I think it got better.
It's mad nice out today. It's like 76 degrees. I went to the gym this morning. I went and got my coffee, and they had the door open in the coffee shop. But yeah, looking forward to the show today. We have a good show for all of you. Game 4 recap coming up. Whether we're going to be happy or miserable is yet to be seen. Good weekend of hoops, as they say, in the NBA, and we'll go through all that. And then we have the rat list.
Yes, sir. A lot of stuff to get into. Let's jump right into Celtics Heat Game 4. All right, we are here after Celtics Heat Game 4. Celtics getting another win, sweep the series in Miami, I should say. 102-88 win for the Celtics tonight. Tatum didn't play particularly well. Jalen didn't play particularly well. Kristaps Porzingis got hurt. We'll talk about that too. But Derrick White said, "Don't worry, hop in the backpack, fellas. I'll drop 38 points to just dominate. 15 of 26 shooting, 8 of 6 from behind the three-point line, 38, which is a career high for him. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks for Derrick White too. He's like team high 41 minutes. He was awesome. Like this was the Derrick White game. Shout out to Rui for calling it. Other people were good too. We'll talk about other people. We'll talk about the KP stuff. We'll talk about the Bam JT thing. But I wanted to make sure that we started, rightfully so, with Mr. Derrick White, who was sick. He was so sick.
Yeah, this was a fantastic Derrick White game right from the jump. He came out with really, really good intentions, good purpose. He was aggressive right from the rip, which is not something we've really seen from him so far this series. We've seen a lot of passive backseat Derrick White. There were stretches in game 3 where he was initiating offense and being a playmaker, but he wasn't really trying to score. And he scored 20 in game 3, right? Or
Derrick
is that
White?
game 1?
Derrick White had 20 in game 1. I don't know how many he had last night or 2 nights ago.
Yeah,
he had like 18.
He cracked 20 at least once in this series. But even then, like, it didn't really feel like he was trying to look for a shot. Tonight, Miami comes out in a zone. Derrick White becomes the swing pass to the left of the ball handler a couple times, just drills a couple threes right off. Easy money. Gets going right away. He took way more shots than everybody. My goodness, 26 shots for Derrick White. I don't know if I've ever seen that, but he was wildly efficient both overall and from 3. 15 of the 26 went down and 8 of his 15 threes dropped. He just looked like a man possessed. He was confident, and some of those baskets were timely. This game was not a sure thing, even though if you look at like the game chart, it probably feels like a sure thing. Celtics were not up by as many points as they should have been early in this game. Derrick White starts scoring points. Celtics kind of let go of the rope a bit in the second half. Derrick White dunks on everybody and then dunks on Bam on back-to-back possessions. Builds the lead up a little bit. Celtics start to slide again in the fourth quarter. Derrick White drives, makes a layup to kind of send it back up to 17. He just wasn't playing around tonight. I loved his drive. I loved his aggression and overall just his willingness to make the bold play.
Yeah, no, Derrick White was awesome. I mean, he did everything you needed from him in a game like this where, like I said, Tatum and Brown were kind of not great. They did other things that didn't involve shooting or scoring and stuff, so they went up for a little bit there. But like this was a game you really needed Derrick White to step up, and he did exactly that. Like you said, 26 shots, 15 threes, like by far the most on the team in either of those categories. He even said after the game, he's like, took some dumb ones, but it felt good. Like he did. He took some that were like, whoa, okay, Derrick, but he shot efficiently. So that's all that really matters.
He loves playing that building.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Rui called it. Rui's just like, yeah, big Derrick White legacy game here, and it was. Did you see Freezing Cold Takes? Do you know that Twitter account?
I did. I saw the Celtics blog caught the stray. Every time they tweet that, you should just link yours. Be like, well, I was.
I know. I need to. We were there. I was right there. Some of the shots there, dude. Derrick White got closer to a tech than I've ever seen him get in this game, and it was really fun. Derrick White's never had a technical foul, not once in his career, playoffs or regular season.
Upset?
he thought he was fouled on like those big dunks he had in the lane. He thought he was
Oh,
hacked.
yep.
And to his credit, he was. He did get hit. And for what it's worth, again, every time I talk about the refs, I feel like it's important to add the context of it didn't matter because it didn't matter. These refs sucked. This was so annoying. And it was both sides. It wasn't just for the Celtics, wasn't just for the Heat. Like a whole playoffs and a whole end to the regular season of we're allowing all this physicality and they're just going to call every fucking touch foul. That was so lame. It was so annoying. I didn't enjoy it. But Derrick White was getting hit and they decided not to call those. And it was just like he started yapping. He started getting mad at the refs. He started screaming and getting, passionate, which was fun. It's fun to see a mild-mannered guy like him just start to get like about it. He didn't get a tech though, but it was the closest I've seen him get for a guy who's never gotten a tech before. Which was fun to see, to say the least. So shout out Derrick. Those dunks were crazy too. It was back to back, same play, same dunk, same spot, and it was just like holy shit.
It's funny from a guy that just never dunks. Very rarely do we see Derrick White dunk not on a fast break. He was just on one today. He owns that fucking place. That building is his building. Miami had no answer for him, and Heat fans not feeling good. Probably sucked to be there today if you're a Heat fan because he had it from the get-go.
Dude, I just want to you called it earlier. Did you say it was tonight or the other night? The night where you were like, "Oh, Jack must be loving the Derrick White game." It all blends together.
Oh, it was the other day because he was really good in Game 3 too. He had a lot of big hustle plays. Like he had his fingerprints all over the win the other day.
He was. I just wanted to put on some of his shots. If you're watching on YouTube, you see it on the screen now. If you're listening on audio platforms, we just put up all of the makes that Derrick White had in this game. Like, I just wanted we talked about it, and we can get off Derrick White in a second, but the
right
magnitude. Well, I know, but the magnitude of how difficult these shots were. These were just movement shots. He's getting within the flow of the offense. These were by the time he stopped, or by the time his early game rhythm was developed, he was just chucking. He was taking crazy shots. He was leading the Celtics offense. He was the only reason, in my opinion, that they were able to extend this lead. Because like I said, Tatum and Brown weren't good. They found nothing. Jaylen Brown was really bad. Jayson Tatum couldn't find a shot at all. And Derrick White was just nah, I got you. Like I said, hop in the backpack. Derrick White's going to carry you way through. And that the fact that the Celtics have that in multiple forms up and down the roster, is so huge. And they talked about it after the game. So credit Derrick White, man. He was awesome.
We're still watching the first quarter highlights if you're listening to this. A lot of those shots came when the Celtics offense looked dead. This was a game where Miami looked extremely sloppy out of the gates, yet the Celtics didn't really build much of a lead until Derrick White got going. And even there, even the second quarter was a bit of a flat start, and he makes a three to separate it a bit for him. Just really, really timely shots always from him.
The fact that he got a bucket out of this, if you're not watching, or if you're not, if you're listening, not watching, Tyler Hero, I have something in my throat. Tyler Hero throws this ball just off of Derrick White's head. In this, we saw it, and then not only does he throw it off of Derrick White's head, Derrick White gets a bucket out of this possession. Derrick White then waltzes up the floor and pulls up in transition and sticks a three.
Didn't even hit the rim.
And he's hyped after that. He's pumped after that. This was so fun, man. I just want to get to the dunks. Here we go. Bang! He got
undercut on this
play. He was fouled so hard on this play.
The undercut king gets him again.
Look at the body. Look at the body-to-body contact on this play. Again, it didn't matter, but what are we doing? Look at him. Derrick White doesn't talk to the refs. He's just are you serious? And then very next play.
Got fucking killed.
Same thing. Literally same thing. Caleb Martin lost, and he got hit again, and then he's mad again.
Sent Bam into the fucking stanchion.
Caleb
it was
Martin.
Then that Bam decided he had business to attend to.
Clearly. Yeah, you sent Caleb Martin to the spin shops. All right, let's talk KP. We got to get there. We got to do it. Henry, rat list, first of all, mini rat list. This motherfucker texts me after it happens. That was KP's Achilles. I said, you can't say stuff like that. You just can't say that because I'm going to assume you saw something I didn't, brother. Come on, man.
Literally, brother.
Yeah.
Henry
KP
handshake scowl.
Yeah. KP turned his ankle on one play. A few possessions later, was driving off a dribble handoff, or not driving, but he was doing a dribble handoff, and he tweaked his calf. Came up limping immediately, called for a sub, went to the sidelines, went into the tunnel, put his head in his jersey. Still high five to fan on the way out, but sent Celtics Twitter and Celtics fandom into a frenzy. Was then revealed that he would be doubtful to return, quote unquote, with right calf tightness. Woj then said he's going to undergo MRI on Tuesday. Doesn't look like the Achilles, but they're going to be cautious. Porzingis then tweeted after the game, "Good win. D White's awesome." It's something like that. D White's the GOAT. Vibes seem okay. That said, scary moment in time for the Celtics.
I'm still not like past it completely yet. Like I'm more worried, I think, than you are. I didn't see anything special on TV. Like Henry had no business saying Achilles. Like I don't think it's his Achilles, but the way he like went off the floor was very discouraging to me. I don't know. The jersey over the face, it's gonna haunt me. I didn't love it. And it never helps when Scal's on the call. I mean, Scal would have told you he's dead. He literally he doesn't have a calf anymore. But just a freak thing. Like this was not a Heat culture moment, at least not the calf. I don't really know what your thought would be on Hero. I didn't think it was anything either, but
Oh no, the Heat didn't do anything. This was both two freak things. This had nothing to do with
not for nothing. Every time, 3 of the 4 times he has played in that fucking building this year, he has hurt himself.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be a coincidence, whether it is something wrong with the floor, something wrong with the climate for him and his muscles. Something about that I don't love. I don't think it's the team. I tweeted it and everyone was having a field day. They're like, Miami's dirty. I'm like, you guys can do what you want with the tweet, but I'm just telling you a fact. 3 of the 4 games that they played in Casillas Center, he has left injured.
That's true.
So not great. Please don't make there be a game 6. Not that I think he would play in a game 6, but I would like to be done with this fucking team.
Yeah, I saw like a doctor on Twitter tweet like this looked like a calf strain to me. Grade 1 would be 1 to 2 weeks. Grade 2 would be 3 to 6 in that case. Neither of which is like, I don't want to say season ending. Neither of which is also very good. You hope it's on the shorter side. Take all the caution you can. Make sure that he's fine, fully healthy before he comes back. Wasn't fun to see. I stand on the side of it didn't look too bad when it happened. At least watching the replays, it was concerning to see him put his head in his jersey, but I am ever the optimist. So maybe that's my own problem, but we'll have to see. MRI later today as you guys are listening to this. And I guess we'll just have to go from there as far as KP goes. So
we're getting a free video tomorrow.
That we are. When we record that free video is unknown, probably later at night, but
okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to be traveling all day. I'm not going to be anywhere. As far as the rest of the game, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, bad. Jaylen Brown in particular was really bad in this game. He couldn't make his layups. He couldn't find anything. Jayson Tatum couldn't find a shot, but at least he was dishing out some assists and rebounding the ball well. Jaylen Brown, 6 turnovers. Not great. Luckily, it didn't matter. Luckily, those two just continued to play solid defense. But it felt like whenever Jaylen got the ball and sometimes Tatum got the ball, it was just, all right, possession's over. They're going to chuck something up. And that wasn't very fun to watch. Again,
correct.
Didn't end up mattering because Derrick White was awesome, but not fun. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on PrizePicks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Drew Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Drew Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. PrizePicks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Yeah, neither one of these guys was great today. I thought they both had decent stretches. I thought Jalen started this game decent. He had a couple go through the guy chest moments early in the game, and I almost texted you and Bobby and was like, "Oh, are we back?" Glad I didn't, because I did have the thought he went on a drive and just sent somebody backpedaling underneath the basket and got an easy layup. He just decided to force everything. Threw up a hook shot in this game. Be serious, please. I never see anybody take a hook shot in the NBA. What are you doing? This is a playoff game. As much as it was a laugher when you look back in hindsight, it really wasn't at the time. Like, I don't know how you felt being there, but watching at home, there were a couple times I thought they might slip up. And he was doing some crazy shit in those spans. The opposite of Derrick White, the calming presence, Derrick White. Jaylen Brown was the alarming presence today. The man just did not see a shot he didn't like. I'm going to loop Drew Holiday into this too, who played better today offensively. But they both had
There were a couple
mismatched moments that they didn't do anything with it. Drew had a post up on Patty Mills where he could have backed him down. He took a fadeaway and airballed it. Jalen had a couple. He had one on DeLon Wright that he had him pinned right underneath the rim, and he took a fade. Even Tatum had a few terrible fades in this game. What is this team's obsession with the mid-range fadeaway when you have a clear mismatch of muscle?
You're telling me. You're preaching to the choir there, brother. I don't know. I don't like it at all. I'm not a fan. And that's not me being against mid-range shots. That's me being against that very specific mid-range shot.
Correct.
Which is that. Yeah, I thought Drew was all right in this one. His shot selection was questionable at times, but he had 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He did a pretty good job defending. I did a little bit of everything else.
Bounce back for him.
I thought Pritchard was kind of bad in this game, ironically, after we had our whole video about him. And it wasn't even just like, oh, he was over 4. It felt like he passed up some shots he usually takes. It felt like he drove a little bit too much. He was a little bit hesitant. I don't really get it. I kind of want to see him take those. He needs to take those. So that was a bit awkward, but it is what it is. Hauser was sort of a non-factor. He played okay defense. He missed his shots, but he's just out there. Cornette, I thought actually did an okay job in his 3 minutes, sort of like filling in.
3 minutes.
Yeah, well, they're important 3 minutes when you got Porzingis out, and Horford was really good in this game. Didn't take a ton of shots, but he hit a big one. He had a super cool dunk. 8 rebounds were huge. His defense was huge. 2 assists, 7 points, plus 15. He was awesome. Credit to him. You want to talk about Stan Van Gundy's moment?
I didn't watch the national broadcast. I saw everybody irate about it. But yeah, I guess Stan was big time backing not Tatum. He was like, Tatum should not have shot that shot. And I guess we can talk about it now. The Tatum.
It wasn't even like not backing Tatum. It was blaming Tatum. Like, that's Tatum's fault, which is like,
I mean,
what?
If you want to like look at it from a push the boulder down the hill perspective, he did start the action that resulted in the Bam flagrant foul.
You don't even have like you're struggling to put in the words. Shows just how out of pocket Stan Van Gundy's take on the matter is. Here is
I mean, look at this.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't know how this is nothing. Actually, never mind. Derrick White kind of.
I think it was a foul.
It was, but
that's
I thought it was a more I thought it was a more egregious push in the moment, but it wasn't.
Okay.
But yeah, that happens. Tatum goes to take a shot after the whistle, and Bam just steps right under him and has him twist his ankle, which is the same one he tweaked. Thank you. No, I'll keep it. Thank you. The same one he tweaked in the final. Sorry, I have a bag that I keep my microphone in, and the guy cleaning up thought it was trash, so he tried to take it, but I felt bad. Same one he tweaked, and he just steps on Bam because Bam undercut him on the shot, which I totally understand. The defend your shot or your basket after the whistle, like I totally get it. I'm all for it. Like, play defense.
And the Celtics do it,
but exactly the difference is if it's a flagrant when it's a live ball. Probably a flagrant when it's not a live ball, especially like if this was a live ball and this exact thing happened, this would have been a flagrant on Bam Adebayo without question, 100%. And so it's gonna be the same fucking thing when it's not a live ball. I don't think it's a dirty play from Bam. I just think he did some dumb shit. Like I don't think this was. I'll put it this way: I think illegal screens are more dirty from Bam than this is. This is just him trying to protect his basket, but he like did a flagrant play while it was happening. Like. I don't understand the Heat fans who are like, that's nothing. Like, oh, even the broadcast is saying it's a flagrant foul, man. Like, come on.
Come on, man. Also, not for nothing. I have NBA.com open, and I don't want to get away from this. 9:30 tip for Bucks Pacers tomorrow. Unreal. All right. Bam. So Bam, I don't know if Bam is a dirty player, but I will say Bam is a consistently reckless player. He is
Sure.
always there when guys are going down. Listen, nobody touched Porzingis when he strained his calf. Bam was right there. He was there. Tatum goes down after the whistle on a shot that shouldn't have been even contested. Bam was there.
What was the first one you
Just
referenced? Sorry, I was reading something.
Porzingis' calf
Yeah.
strain. Bam was the one guarding him.
Yep.
Which it means
Yep.
nothing. But I don't know, man. He's just always out there clamming around. I mean, if any Knicks fans are watching, there's at least one.
They know.
You know how much you hate this.
Yep. Knicks fans are not a fan. Yeah, it's just my whole thing was like, if it's a flagrant during live action, it's going to be a flagrant for sure after the whistle. That's I think where it starts and ends. I did like, do you see Horford like go over and shove Bam out the way to help Tatum
Oh
up?
yeah,
Love that. Shut up.
should have hit him harder. Teach him a lesson. Maybe a
Also,
clothesline.
let me know if you saw it too. This is the same defense they played in game 2. Same defense, same thing. It's the exact same thing. Maybe a little bit more intensity. They gave up very similar shots. It's just the math worked out for them because the Heat suck. And,
yeah,
and I don't
the Celtics
necessarily
didn't
think
do a great job.
This game makes you understand Joe's thought process with the defense, though. You know what I'm saying? Stop the pick and roll, stop Bam a little bit inside, then close out quick to shooters. And I will say, let me rephrase what I'm saying. I think it's the same defensive game plan, but they executed it with more intensity, which is the whole key to the game plan, because you need to be able to close out to shooters. And there were still some where they didn't, but a lot of them were Drew got out and got a hand up, Al got out, got a hand up, Tatum got out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were a little quicker, a little bit faster with the way they did things. I'm not saying it's the perfect defense, but this is the game where you're like, okay, I see the vision of what the game plan is. And to his credit, 88 points, pretty fucking good. Pretty good.
So this was an atrocious Miami game, like literally disgusting. I got to pull this box score up again just to see what they
It's almost
shot.
like what they did for 82 games in the regular
27.
season.
Yeah, this is how Miami should have probably shot all through the conference finals too last year. But
Yep.
to your point about Joe, so I do think it was a similar game plan to game 2. However, it's great that it worked today, but when it doesn't work, you need to kind of realize it might not be working. And you need to kind of shift a little bit. I'm not saying overreact and set everything on fire, but after a while, you got to be like, okay, maybe we be a bit more aggressive on their shooters. And Caleb Martin, today his jump shot, even though he shot 50% from 3 and made 4 of them, his jump shot looked broken again. It did not look smooth like it did in game 2. I don't know what happened to him in game 2 where everything was one fluid motion. But the guy that I saw in game 1, jumping, extending his arms, falling a bit, and then flicking his wrist is the guy that played tonight. His jump shot is all the way broken. I can't believe the Celtics lost the series to him last year.
The way you feel about
credit.
Caleb Martin is how I feel about Haywood Highsmith. There's no fucking universe that guy should be able to make jump shots. No, not a planet. Yeah, no way.
Take your pick. What other 3D printed Heat culture guy would you like to say should never make 3-pointers?
You know what's very weird? This whole series for the Heat feels like it's contingent on them making threes. And Duncan Robinson's just not playing. He's got to be hurt. He's got to be more hurt. He played like 2 minutes in this game. He's got to be more hurt than they're letting on. Also, I did tell you Patty Mills would get minutes in this game. I called that after game 3. And he did, and he was a little rat fuck during them too.
Yep.
I mean that with love in the case of Patty Mills, because I like Patty Mills.
Jake.
Yeah, he was a rat fuck.
Aussies.
Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know if I have anything else in this game. Do you got anything?
I thought Tyler Hero was really bad in this game.
They've done a great job
to start the game, but then after that, he fell off a cliff, face planted, looked terrible. You could tell he was obviously rattled. Bam, until Porzingis went out, also seemed pretty rattled going up against Kristaps. Credit to Kristaps in this series. He's probably done playing in it. He did a tremendous job guarding somebody that's far more physical than he is.
He was also really good in this game before he went down.
Yeah. Whether it cost him his calf or not is one thing, but Bam did not look comfortable taking any shots in the paint on Kristaps.
No.
His mid-range jumper, which is a decent look, wasn't falling. Good job. Good job, KP.
It is wild how consistently Bam makes jumpers against Horford versus how inconsistently he makes them against Porzingis. Like the dichotomy is crazy. I know. It shows you the difference.
And Horford does a
Tyler,
great job too.
he does. He just gets more comfortable against Horford. Hero wasn't good in this game. Celtics have done a great job of making him uncomfortable since that game too, and in game 1 too. So like they've done a good job by and large against him this series. And I do think a reason they run this late contest 3-point offense is so they can really limit him and Adebayo in the pick and roll, which makes sense when it works, but when it doesn't, game 2. All right, I think that's it. We good?
For the love of
We good?
God, win fucking game 5, end the fucking series. I don't want to fucking see Bam again after Wednesday.
Would
Do you
be
really
great.
think you need to give him more minutes to injure somebody?
That said, would love Bam on the Celtics. I'd be in.
Fuck Bam. Out on Bam.
All right, let's throw it over to the rest of the pod. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like Jack said. Leave some comments on the video. You don't want to miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with something new every day at 5 a.m., whether it's pods like these on Tuesday, Thursday, and tentatively Sunday. The playoff schedule has us in a little bit of a blender. So we'll give you something on the weekends, one of the days. Weekend pod, no matter what. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. If you follow us there, you can leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate it. And you'll get all of our pods and game recaps right to your feed every morning after. You can also find us on socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. You can find our streams there on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jack's Money NBA. Mine is at France NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.